Yes.
Now, my lord, therefore, consideration for today's proceedings would be, my lord, to appointment of an investigating agency for the purpose of, my lord, investigating the whole state of affairs, how it could happen. It's not just a mere slip. And our allegation is not that by this process, many nominations which couldn't have been accepted were accepted, and thereby the election continued. And since the election commission and the state agencies both are involved, unfortunately, my lord, I would appeal to your lordship to appoint, my lord, any central agency or a team be constituted by the court under the supervision of any judge of this, retired judge of this court, which the division bench did. Either of the way, my lord, it should be investigated upon. And Lord, as I find the ramifications are larger, to that extent, central government or central agencies might have something to say.
Has any proceeding been initiated against that officer? Let me see.
The controlling officer. Copy them.
2 pages missing, but still you can have.
Thank you. আমি আর সেশন শেয়ার করে নেবো তোমার
হ্যাঁ, ঠিক আছে।
This is no answer.
A show cause was issued, then he has replied possibly.
The show cause on
Any-
10th of July, reply 7th of July, reply 10th of July. And see, these are all not very casual and usual way of replying, just to show that they have complied with the order of the court.
What
nothing
is
else.
the final, has any final order been
No, your
passed?
lordship, this has been forwarded to the backward classes where the officer was, the disciplinary authority of the officer. The disciplinary authorities will look into it and they will start a proceeding as soon as possible. And an FIR has also been lodged, which is at page number 11, 11 and 12.
Yes.
বললাম না তো 2টা page missing.
Oh, আচ্ছা, আচ্ছা।
Lodging an FIR against those who have filed nomination. 19th of July.
সেখানে FIR আছে।
19th of July.
Lordship,
Why so
elections
late?
concluded on the 12th, 13th. After that, it was still in process. And after that, maybe due to that.
And complaint FIR against unknown person.
Yes, because of the signatures.
How can it be unknown person?
No, Lordship kindly considers.
Somebody was there.
But how do we know who was there?
Your
That-
client accepted the nomination paper and now you say you do not know who filed the nomination and you lodge complaint against unknown persons. How is it possible?
Your Lordship, the district magistrate show cause the BDO. BDO in turn calls the inquiry on the APRO. After that, your Lordship, certain facts came in light. And after that, the signature that was a mandate during the elections that he has to remain present. This still now, they have not been able to do it. That is why FIR has been dealt with in this on the 19th. And consequent
No,
steps
they have
will
not
fall.
been able to do. That means in many cases, there may be many instances where the candidate was not personally present and the nominations have been
I
filed.
humbly submit before your Lordship.
Yes.
During our course of experience in our courts, Lordships have also seen those who are present before the court or some things that have been brought before notice of the court. That is, this matter, specifically this matter, this is also a point of consideration before the pill bench, where we have stated in our affidavit that yes, steps have been taken and nomination has been cancelled.
No, but this is only one matter. There are several matters with the same
They are
allegation.
all before your Lordship. They are all before the pill bench. They are the petitioners over there. They know better than me. They are leveling allegations day and night against us. And we are taking steps. What more, Lordship?
No,
we
but
can
then
do?
how can the FIR be lodged against unknown persons?
I will come back. on that.
Somebody was there. Certainly the document could not have just floated in a thin air and landed in the table of the video. This could not have been done. What is the CCTV footages for?
Yes.
Can you not identify who was the person and who submitted the nomination paper?
Let me come back on that.
No, certainly, because it is very clear that it is just a formality. You have filed an FIR and you know nobody will follow it through.
No, Malad, kindly will not make that second part of the
Malad.
question.
Yes.
So it is, Malad, I was not saying anything, Malad, because Malad, this part.
Yes.
I'll only join issue with the part of the investigating agency, Malad, last order, Malad, page 7, first paragraph. I will not submit anything.
How
more.
can an FIR be filed against an unknown person when admittedly there was a nomination filed physically before the block development officer? Just tell me this.
Let me come back on that.
No, Milord, I would most
Therefore,
humbly submit, Lord, this is the delay tactics being adopted by the Election Commission deliberately. The way fast order was passed by the Election Commission, Lord, shows total callousness on the part of a constitutional agency, being saying, I cancel the nomination. Without going into the matter, how could this happen? This is more fundamental. And court, Milord, came to a conclusion, there should be an investigation, only issue what should the investigating agency. State has an objection saying that it should be within the state periphery, any agency under the state.
Yes.
Now, Milord,
Only
that argument, Milord, would have hold water, but because of the involvement of even the high officials of Election
Yes,
Commission,
This is, Malad, this is.
One minute, I'll hear you. Yes.
high officials of Milord state government, Milord, not below the maybe DM and Milord the Election Commission being a constitutional authority, all having been Milord involvement, and where Milord the police agencies were also deployed Milord with the orders of this court. They have some involvement of the police agency, maybe directly or indirectly. But all these things should come within the Milord the compass of investigation by an independent agency. That too, the ramification is Milord international. Therefore, with deepest of respect, I would submit the state shouldn't have any Milord qualm if Milord the agency is appointed by this court for an independent and proper investigation. To unearth the truth, I say, Milord, this is a deep-rooted conspiracy. And that conspiracy has to be, Milord, unearthed. We are not imputing allegation against XYZ. Milord, this is the system which should be properly cured. That's my humble submission.
Yes.
Yes, Malad, Malad, I'll join issue only on the part where Malad, my Jandak senior friend wants the Malad investigation by a central agency.
Not
But-
central, independent agency.
Not,
It's
Malad,
an independent agency, not
But-
necessarily central
Malad,
agency.
Very purposely, Malad. I have seen your lordship can also see the array of parties, Malad. It is quite clear, Malad, what they want and Malad, how they want to. There is, Malad, no prayer with regard to the fact of the SIT, but I'll say, Malad, that this, what is being submitted today, Malad, is what is being imported. Why? Because my learned senior friend knows very well that to fit into the criteria of a CBI investigation, he'll have to make out a case with regard to involvement of high officials. Because the third category, which has been mentioned by the Honorable Supreme Court in Bengal, is absent. That is a faulty investigation. That scope, that stage has not arisen as yet. So my learned friend wants to pigeonhole it into the first and second criteria that top officials, political personalities, persons are involved in it. Now, Malad, this what is transpiring from the report, Malad, from the steps taken by the commission, is that APRO, Malad, is there, Malad. APRO so far was given, and the APRO has replied, and the controlling authority has taken whatever steps is required. But till that point of time, till acceptance of the nomination, where the problem is, the scrutiny, Malad, in my understanding, at the time of scrutiny, the person need not be present personally. The agent can be there. So at the time of scrutiny, it may so happen that the candidate was not there. But the main problem area is where the nomination is accepted without the original signature. Now, Malad, as far as that part is concerned, there only an omnibus pleading saying that high officials are involved, as is the State Election Commissioner had called up the APRO that you please accept this nomination. Malad, this part is a bit stretching the elastic too far for its sustenance. Now, Malad, the only
Who is
point,
the other agent, authority who has been entrusted by the division bench?
Milord,
Division
David
bench
Prasad,
directed, my lord.
Milord,
I will-
বলুন আমি order দিচ্ছি।
State, আপনি order পাচ্ছেন?
Let me see the order.
Milord, in fact, Milord, your lordship had, Milord, relied on it on the last occasion. একটা copy কেন? একটা copy করুন।
Is it recorded?
Yes, Milord. না, না, কোথায়?
Page 5 of the order.
One month before.
Division bench.
Yes, upon the state.
Division bench appointed
for-
judge
Yes,
Not,
but then
to supervise over the investigation to be
who are
conducted
the
by.
members of the,
No, Milord, Milord, the investigation is by the local police. Milord, your lordship will kindly take. But in fact, it is not an investigation, it's an inquiry, Milord. Your lordship will kindly come to Milord page.
Where the case of that was a of different nature.
I'll place, Milord, I'll place. With the kind leave of my learned senior, Milord, senior friend, Milord. Page 18. Milord. In view, Milord, got it, Milord?
yes,
Middle portion. In view of the law on the subject that discussed above, the direction of the learned single judge for CBI investigation cannot be sustained. We have perused the material on record. In our considered opinion, the facts of this case do not call for CBI investigation immediately. While the writ petitioners say that their nomination were wrongfully cancelled, the appellant contend that such allegation was justified since caste certificate was not submitted by the writ petitioner. The writ petitioner, of course, insists that they have submitted.
show me that portion only who have
Yes,
been,
Milord, I had to read some portion Milord, to indicate that there is no, Milord, it's not a black and white thing. Milord, kindly take page 19, Milord, where it the sentence starts, the issue. The issue,
yeah, the
page
top,
19.
show me who is Justice Day.
Maybe Prashad Dey.
19, Justice
Maybe Prashad Dey.
to dispel and is the writ petitioner. Inquiry by the state police will be futile. Yes. State police
Milord,
shall
we
conduct an
kindly please
inquiry.
read from page 19, last paragraph, however.
Yes. Yeah,
However,
division in- yeah, the report shall be filed with the journal will be done.
Under whose supervision the state police, the state police, Milord, under the CRPC, Milord, will mean the local police. However, Milord, what has been done here in this case, as I know, Milord, since I was appearing in the matter, Milord, someone has been designated to be the IO, and Milord, that person is doing it under the Milord monitoring of the honorable retired judge.
In this, in the appeal,
In the-
no, but then since here, there is at least some involvement of international issues.
One of the international issue is that the candidate is outside. It is not the case that he is doing something from outside, he is bringing
Maybe.
something from outside.
Maybe he's doing something.
I'll
from
tell you right,
outside.
Milord.
How can you rule
Milord,
it out?
Since your lordship, Milord, mentions that, Milord, your lordship will kindly take one order of another, Milord,
May I give a
another single
suggestion?
bench, Milord.
May I give a suggestion?
Yes, please.
They will not let Lordship constitute a committee without comprising of DG Police West Bengal, DG CBI, and they will depute
Milord, on that, I
officers
am
of that
making the objection,
investigation
Milord, kindly-
continues. I'll report to court.
Kindly allow me to,
State cannot complain to that because both of the high officials are there.
no, Milord, this is, Milord, Milord, this is another single judge, Milord. I direct the DIG CID West Bengal, Milord, I have handed it over, Milord. It is 14352 of 2023. Milord will kindly take the, Milord,
Yes, yes, you say.
first page.
I
I direct the DIG CID West Bengal to make a thorough investigation as to the allegation made against the private respondent in so and so and file a report by 2 months before this court. The report should be in a sealed cover. The matter will appear so and so. Now there is an objection recorded in 2, paragraph page 2. Mr. Mitro. Mr. Mitro, learned advocate for the state, has submitted that instead of DIG, the concerned SP should make the inquiry. This was the objection by the state itself, Milord. But it was overruled. Can you see the reason? I have considered such submission, but I am not ready to accept this submission as the allegation is that the respondent number 11 is a Bangladeshi national and not an Indian citizen. So, Milord, some ramifications with regard to, Milord, a person who is not belonging to India. In this case, it's an Indian, Milord, who is outside and when his
Indian,
signature is there.
Indian working, he is
But-
pulling the strings from somewhere else.
Milord, pulling the strings, Milord, today it is so connected, Milord, strings can be pulled by a phone call. But it is not something which is
That is the reason.
with regard to, Milord, the international border, maybe may not be. But, Milord, this order shows that the CID is itself capable enough, Milord, to make the investigation if your lordship so pleases. And my lord, if your lordship pleases that the state police, though CID also means state police, my lord, but a particular department of the state police, my lord, if your lordship feels that it should be done by a high officer apart from CID at the under the monitoring of a retired judge, my lord, I will not stand in the way. But my lord, my submission is that my lord, the state police, my lord, without giving an opportunity to investigate, should not be stigmatized by saying that they are incapable of doing it or that they are biased enough that they will not investigate.
What is your
But
submission?
This perception of stigmatization is wrong.
no, because this submission was made on the last occasion.
Lordship, the array of parties in this present incident writ petition does not have any bearance of Central Bureau of Investigation. Lordship, this Central Bureau of Investigation, it came into the corner by the submission of the learned Deputy Solicitor General on the previous occasion. Why, Lordship? Because till the time when your Lordship has taken up this matter on the previous occasion, this private respondent was outside the country, Lordship, and Central Bureau of Investigation is
Has he returned?
Lordship.
What is the date of his return?
Return on 16th.
16th.
Lordship. He was supposed
Has he returned? 16th?
He was supposed to it on 16, but
Ah.
we don't have any information.
Don't have any
That-
information.
That again, Lordship, if your Lordship is to desires, we have to take a specific instruction from the Bureau of Immigration, Lordship.
See, Ms. Sinha, the FIR was lodged on the 19th. And if the candidate concerned was due to return on the 16th, he could have told as to who is the person who filed the nomination.
Lordship.
Your client did not do this much of
Lordship,
homework.
kindly give me an opportunity. I will look into it.
Lordship, may I indicate one more thing, Lordship, is that why the CBI was taken into this task, Lordship, is that CBI is the only institution who has the international police division, Lordship. The Interpol division.
Very well. So
concerns-
Person is
as
in
of
India.
now, as
Person
of
is in
now,
India.
possibly the person is
Yeah.
inside the country.
So
So
let me come,
let-
my lord,
let me
now
just-
the FIR is there. Let me come back with a report on that, my lord.
FIR,
Nothing.
So it-
Lordship, let me-
only yesterday, my lord, the complaint has been made.
yes, that too after so many days, the matter is due to
Similar the-
appear today. That is the
But
reason
where,
yesterday
Malad,
FIR
where-
against unknown persons.
Yes, my lord, but that the FIR is not the encyclopedia. It may be against the unknown person, but the CCTV, my lord, can be watched by the IO also, my lord. Kindly allow me
Lordship,
to
kindly-
investigate into the matter.
Kindly.
And, my lord,
give me
If
an
your lordship is not
opportunity.
satisfied with the investigation, my lord will pass necessary direction.
Kindly give me an
But
opportunity.
merely because, my lord, some state officer is involved, that does not mean that it falls within the criteria of Bimal Guru.
Let it be done by this DIG CID under the supervision of Justice Day only.
Very well.
Because since he is looking after one,
No
he
problem.
can always, but in
That
that
is
case, his consent is required to be taken.
Yes. That has to be taken by your lordship.
In the other matter, I see a consent was
Naturally,
taken.
otherwise he may not agree.
He may not agree.
So in this matter, he has already sought time to complete it, my lord.
No, that is different. That is different.
And my lord, DIG CID, my lord, has been entrusted in another investigation by another. I did not bring the judgment, my lord. By my lord Justice Basu also, my lord, in another decision, my lord, in another.
Then they will be
Investigation.
overburdened.
My lord, the IG2, my lord, this is of not 24 Parganas. IG2 is now, that is immediately under the DIG.
But
CID.
DIG, CID, or Milord, he authorizes officer of same rank. Office, I'm talking of office.
No, you said he authorizes, she authorizes.
She authorizes anyone.
Otherwise, it's a designation. He includes
But-
the she.
Ah,
She also becomes,
Yes.
okay, let the DIG, CID will conduct the investigation under the supervision of a retired judge. Lordship put the name later
My
after.
lord, let her nominate someone to do it, my lord, immediately below her rank. Whatever your lordship pleases.
Immediately below her. Same rank.
Immediately above to nahi, sir. Immediately above.
Learned advocate representing the
personal appearance.
State Election Commission has produced certain documents wherefrom it appears that the concerned video was showcased by the district magistrate on 7th of July 2023. Stop, it appears that a reply has been given to the show cause by the concerned video. Stop. The matter has presently been forwarded to the controlling officer of the block development officer. Next paragraph. Copy of the first information report lodged before the police on 19th July 2023. Under sections 120B/419 and 420 of IPC and sections 125 within bracket A, caps A, Representation of People's Act has been lodged against unknown person. Stop. Next. The court fails to understand as to how FIR could be lodged against unknown person when the nomination paper was physically handed over to the block development officer. Stop. Next. The authority ought to have checked the video footage to identify the person who submitted the nomination and should have lodged complaint against the said person instead of lodging complaint against unknown person. Stop. Next. Learned advocate for the commission seeks time to take further instruction in the matter. Stop. Next. The matter is required to be investigated. Stop. It was recorded in the earlier order dated 4th July 2023 that the authority which will be entrusted to conduct the investigation shall be decided on the adjourned date. Stop. Paragraph. After hearing the submission made on behalf of all the parties and upon perusal of the documents placed before this court, the court directs the DIG within bracket CID West Bengal to conduct a thorough investigation himself or to appoint somebody immediately below the rank of the DIG CID to conduct the investigation under the supervision of a retired judge of this court. Stop. The paragraph. The order dated 26th June 2023 passed by the Honorable Division Bench of this court in Mat 1135/2023 plus IA number CAN 1/2023 within bracket District Magistrate of Howrah and others versus Kashmira Begum Khan and others have been placed before this court. Stop. It appears therefrom that the Honorable Division Bench was pleased to appoint Justice Debi Prasad De, within bracket retired, a former judge of this court, as a one-man commission under whose supervision this investigating authority shall conduct the inquiry.
One clarification, my lord's order dated 4th July 2023 at page 6 without specifically mentions there are instances galore with allegations of non-acceptance of nomination paper. The fact of this case indicate that the proper investigation required to be conducted to ascertain as to whether the procedure laid down was strictly followed. Now, that should be the scope of the investigation.
But investigation galore,
Inquiry.
with regard to this, it is all right. But others,
No. With regard to this particular
issue.
booth and constituency,
All right.
particular block rather.
Achha.
But I am not asking throughout West Bengal now.
Yes, not for the other booths and
In
only
respect
for
of the
this
Minakha block.
particular nomination.
No, particular nomination would be not an individual, the particular block, Vinakha block.
Achha. The inquiry shall also be conducted to ascertain as to whether the procedure laid down at the time of filing the nomination paper and at the time of scrutinizing the nominations in respect of the Minakha block was strictly followed or not?